Hi everybody, Dan Illman here with some exciting news. DRF Formulator, the gold standard in past performance information, is now free exclusively on DRF Bets. Join DRF Bets with the promo code WINNING, get a $250 first deposit match bonus, a $10 free bet, and free Formulator already uploaded to your account. Access Formulator's premium features including sortable trainer stats, race replays, personalized trip notes, and lots more. Free Formulator exclusively on DRF Bets. Hi everybody, Dan Illman, Mike Beer. Two graded stakes races on tap at Oaklawn Park on Saturday, including our DRF race of the day. It's the 9th, the grade 3 $500,000 Essex Handicap. Let's take a peek at this field. Brad Cox has the favorite in here and the number 4 Plainsman. He's just a consistent horse, Mike.
Yeah, very, very consistent. There's nothing, really that flashy about him, Dan. He does tend to show up and run his race just about every time, though. It's interesting to see him such a short price on the morning line, though. I know he's coming off of a grade 3 win over course and distance, but man, he really doesn't have any edge on this field.
Friends, remember to download your free Formulator past performances on the Race of the Day event page at drf.com. Handicap along with us. Play this card with your DRF Bets account. Let's start the Timeform US Pace Projector. One of Plainsman's best attributes, not only is his consistency, but the fact that he has great tactical speed and he can put his jockey wherever they want him to be. Warriors Charge and Thomas Shelby, they're going to be forward, and Plainsman will likely be tucked in behind.
Yeah, it feels like he's going to get another good trip in this race, Dan. He just came off of a really good trip and winning the Razorback off of a little bit of a layoff last time. He's going to fall into a trip in this spot. I think it's worth pointing out that at least one of the horses projected to be in front of him here is a really good one and one who might not be that easy to run down.
Thomas Shelby, the number 1's a little bit of an overachiever. He's won 10 races in his career. He really seems to like Oaklawn Park, and he just missed behind Plainsman last time out in the Razorback when he was able to get to the lead. Now, I think he's need the lead type. Warriors Charge, I think, is better on the lead, but since he sat last time out, something tells me they'll concede to Thomas Shelby, and Thomas Shelby's got a big heart, even though he's been nibbling in his last few.
Yeah, well, it'll be interesting to see how they play the pace in here, Dan, because you're right with Warriors Charge. He's really fast when they decide to use his speed. They don't always do that. In his most recent race, he did sit a little bit, but man, that was a really fast early pace. So it actually really worked out that they sat off of another horse in there. I think they're going to go forward in here and just see how fast they go. As far as Thomas Shelby goes, I mean, I can't knock his recent form. He's actually in really, really good form, and he's got several competitive figures. But just going back and looking at the Razorback last time, I feel like it makes him at least a little bit hard to take right back here. Dan, he got to the lead. Plainsman just sat right alongside him in there and outfinished him at the end.
Title Ready is a graded stakes winner, and this is a horse that might be just a little bit dirtied up, making his 4th start since the 2021 Dubai World Cup. He came back off a long layoff, going a 1-turn mile. He ran pretty well in that race, and then they ran him over a wet track at Oaklawn, and then they ran him in the Pegasus World Cup where he had absolutely no chance. This is a closer that if he gets some pace, and there's a chance there's a speed duel, he can come with a kick at a price.
Yeah, it's all about the setup for this horse and whether he can get a clean trip into it. It feels like there's a chance that he catches some pace to run at here. I'm still not convinced, Dan, that he's necessarily the best closer in the field, but you're right about everything else. He could really take advantage of a fast pace. He's going to be a fair price in this race. So if you like him and think he can bounce back, you're probably supposed to bet him.
Millionaire Warriors Charge goes out for Brad Cox, and this is a horse that's always liked Oaklawn Park. 4 of his 6 lifetime wins have come here. He won the Razorback in 2020, and his most recent race, he really got back to form. Brad dropped him into an optional claim race to get his confidence. He tracked a runaway leader. He'd already put that horse away, and he is off to the races. 101 Beyer speed figure. He's earned that fig in 2 out of his last 3 races. Now, Tommy Shelby beat him 3 starts back when he conceded the lead. It'll be interesting to see if they do it again. I like him at his best when he's up front, but in this race, he showed he could sit.
Yeah, he did. And again, the pace was really fast in front of him, so sitting off it worked out. But he also just galloped through the stretch in there. That was a pretty impressive win for him. And pointed out that in his last 2 starts on fast dirt tracks, triple-digit Beyers, although he did lose to Thomas Shelby in one of those. I don't know. I sort of felt like in some ways he was the horse to beat. I want them to use his speed, though.
Plainsman, good third in the Cigar Mile, 2 starts back, made his 7-year-old debut for Brad in the Razorback Handicap. He beat 3 of these horses. Let's watch that race right now. He's earned $1.2 million in his career. We look at Plainsman. He's just off Thomas Shelby right now. He's going to attack. They're going to throw down a really strong stretch drive. Where are the closers, Mike?
Yeah, there weren't any in here. The closers were way up against it. These horses, they're going to run 1, 2, 3 in here, and they're all back in this race, Dan. I mean, they're going to fill out the trifecta in this race. Really, heads up ride here from Rosario, Dan. Thomas Shelby took the lead. Rosario moved right up to his outside and sat alongside that horse all the way around the track, and he outfinished him at the end. Good performance. Didn't make me necessarily want to take 2-1 on him against this field, but he could certainly win right back.
15-time winner, Popular Kid. We just saw him run third in that race. That was his first start off a short layoff. Like Plainsman, he has the tactical speed to sit a good trip just off the pace. We have a formulator fact for his trainer concerning horses making their second start on dirt off a layoff of 2 to 4 months. Does very well, 42%, a 283 ROI. He's a solid horse. He needs to take a little bit of a step forward, but second off the layoff, it's not out of the question at a price.
Yeah, he's going to have to take a step forward. I don't know if he'll be as big a price as he was last time, Dan. And he didn't really have any excuse in there. He got right up close to the 1-2 finishers and couldn't really threaten them. But he was off of a little bit of a layoff. He's won 4 of his last 6 on dirt. There are wins over Rated R Superstar and Thomas Shelby, sort of going back to last summer. There are ways to make a case for this horse, but he has to be a big price again in this race if you're going to bet him.
Rated R Superstar is just a cool horse. He won this race in 2019. He was second in this race last year. He is another millionaire in this quality field, and he was one of the horses in the Razorback that was likely really compromised by the lack of pace up front. 2 starts back in the 5th season, he showed he could still run.
Yeah, he did. He made an earlier move in that 5th season too, Dan. He got himself into position, and then he managed to close that race down. That wasn't as tough a field as this one. So I think you have to worry about that. I don't know, but when I go back and look at that Razorback, Dan, I wanted the horses out of that race. I wanted the horses who were trying to close. This horse actually made a big run from last in there. It was just way too late. The other horse that was closing in there who wound up finishing 4th was Promise Keeper. I was hoping he would come back in this spot, but he didn't show up. That kind of leaves me with Rated R Superstar. I think he ran an underrated race last time.
I wonder if Beau Luminarie is another horse that might have been compromised by pace last time out. He ran in the tinsel over a muddy track to conclude his 2021 campaign, and it was a race that didn't have a lot of pace. He made a menacing bid. He flattened out. He still has to prove he's of the graded ilk, and he is facing some really good horses in this race, but I also think he's a little bit underrated.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think he's underrated too. I don't know if I feel like he's the best closer in the race. He's probably not. But he's going to be a better price than some of the other horses. And boy, I thought he was far from impossible in here.
Hanalei's Houdini is up next. Oh, Hanalei's Houdini. Let's watch his last race. The Jennings. Maker claimed him for 54 starts back. And Hanalei's Houdini's done for Maker what he's done for several other trainers in his career. He just fails to get it done. Now, he's facing the best handicap horse based in the Mid-Atlantic, Cordmaker, in this race. But this is the long stretch of the mile run, Mike. And how does Hanalei's Houdini not win this for me?
Yeah, I mean, it looks like he's got all the momentum here, Dan. He's going to go right by and Cordmaker. I guess you could give Cordmaker some credit here, Dan. He's just going to dig in and deny this horse. Kind of feels like Hanalei's Houdini refused to pass there. The figure says he can contend right back.
He was listed as a vet scratch at Aqueduct on February the 26th, but Cordmaker came back to win the General George with a 98 buyer. The 3rd place finisher, Galerio, came back to win the Campbell with a 102 buyer. Hanalei's Houdini could have run in a stakes race at Maryland on Saturday. He's running here. This is a very confident placement by a very good trainer. Let's take a look at our top selections for the Essex. It's such a strong field. I think Warriors Charge is back. And I'm going to make the argument that Warriors Charge and Plainsman might be the 2 most naturally talented horses in this race. Warriors Charge has certainly run the figs. If he can either get to the lead or just sit off Thomas Shelby, he's getting the jump on everybody.
I agree with all that. I actually feel like Warriors Charge again. I think he's the horse to beat in this race, Dan. If the morning line's right and he's 7-2, I think he's probably the horse you're supposed to bet in this race. We'll see if they bet the race that way. I just put Rated R Superstar on top because I think he deserves another chance out of that Razorback where you just didn't want to be closing. And he's going to be a good price in this race. So I put him on top, but really the 3 and the 6 are the 2 horses I wanted most in here.
Rated R Superstar might have a completely different pace setup in this race, especially if the 1 and the 3 go guns blazing out of the gate. We'll see if he can edge on by in the stretch. 6-3-4-1 for Mike, 3-4-1-8 for me. It's the grade 3 Essex, one of 2 gradeds at Oaklawn on Saturday. Good luck.